Takridoma, Talaquinta, Chules. You're welcome back on another edition on True FC Media. Please, if you don't subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep your comments coming, keep the likes coming. Yes, that's what helps us to grow. And then that's what helps us to also it motivates us to also bring you the analysis and all. And then as you know, as always, I'm your host, Giovanni, and today I have with me Dan Charlie Alpha. Bro, I did Charlie, your man, they say you correct score king. It's poor there. The trollers they talk. They say I last week give some Liverpool 3-2. We happy. We Liverpool. They make happy. The people didn't see I'm early to then chop bet. That's why for always be here for subscribe. If you come now, keep your post notification to on. If you come now, pack. It will sound for your phone to bling. We Liverpool. So Charlie. But before everything, I want to congratulate the Black Queens on winning their last match to qualify for the AFCON. Charlie, they really try. Then they can't get some payment issues and things, but Charlie, within all those issues and things, they maneuvered their way to have a win. And then they made everyone happy at Accra Sports Stadium. Charlie, kudos to you, people sport there. Charlie, straight away, let's go to England. London derby, Chelsea, Spurs. Chelsea lose their last match against Sunderland. Some floppy defense from Adarabiu. He go mess up with Charlie. Then hits them on that. If you come Spurs to then win them a last match. Very impressive. They are doing so well this season. I think they've lost about only 1 or 2 matches. I think they've lost about 2 matches. And then they are third on the league table, Charlie. Then really they try. Thomas Frank, really they do something plus the team. Going to this game, Enzo Maresca, Thomas Frank. What do you feel like if you're happening for this particular match inside?
No, every tactical battle, but these teams are familiar for their win team. It will be very familiar among these teams. You have kudos. Even most of them are strikers squad, they move to the wide areas. But you're looking at Chelsea also, masters of that. Then get Sanchez, who likes to go direct sometimes. Then you do the ball to the wide regions. And now Chelsea have shown another side of their game with regards to the game they play against Wolves. You see how then they press very high. It's very impressive, and they would like to make Tottenham very sloppy when it comes to building up for the back.
We want players to be pacey, like very pacey. So
Tottenham could take that advantage, and then we try and launch long balls, play that because Chelsea they might defense honestly. They're not able to play teams offside. It will be very clumsy defense.
So looking at the midfield of Chelsea and then the midfield of Spurs. You have Paulinho and then Sarr in the midfield for Chelsea. Spurs. And then we have Caicedo and Andy Santos. I don't think Enzo would be fit for this match.
And
then Dilap also received a red card from the EFL last time, so I think it's also suspended. But then Dilap said if you don't really start, so then we get João Pedro, which has not been very sharp in their last few matches. As they sign them, they perform. But really see top. So looking at the midfield of these two sides, Caicedo, Andy Santos, Paulinho, Sarr, James, how do you feel like? Do you think it's going to be a midfield battle, or what do you think would happen in the midfield?
I think the midfield is going to be more defensive than offensive. So they wouldn't look to create a lot of chances. They will look to actually help in the press. So if they're in the press, I don't like to win the balls, or even for that matter going direct. We like to win second balls and play to the right areas. But these wingers actually play within the half spaces.
Okay.
Yes. So in the half spaces, if they're in the midfield, they like to make runs beyond the defense. But you wouldn't look at the midfield being offensive because one. I wouldn't like to see most of them are defenders, them are midfielders actually being goal threats in this sense.
Okay.
Most of them are midfielders actually score some goals from long ranges. We are looking at Paulinho, we are looking at Caicedo. But it's going to be a battle between them about who's going to win the press, who's going to bypass the midfield as well, who's going to help win the second balls. It's going to be more of that than them contributing.
So when you look at Spurs too, their set pieces are very, very good. This season, apart from Arsenal, I think they are one of the teams that have really mastered their set pieces. With Thomas Frank coming in, then they play very well, or they are doing so good with their set pieces. How do you think the set pieces could hurt Chelsea? Looking at this sloppy defense from Chelsea.
So most of the time they don't take all their, unless they are defending, they know they take all them are players of 11 to 10 to 11 players into the box. Most of the time they will have some of them are players outside. Mostly the defenders we then they block Chelsea them are other defenders, see midfielders or defenders or attackers who will they defend during the corners. And they like to play direct. Then they play to the far end. So they know they play say, oh, let's say wing Kanshimon. They play to create chaos, which is actually a trait that he brought from Brentford. And Brentford is you see the twist. Then he was actually training with a manager, a set piece manager, right? That set piece coach can turn manager give Brentford.
Yeah.
And he being the former manager of Brentford, he has come to this, helping them develop this setup, which actually helps. And they have players who can actually good with their delivery.
Yeah.
You have Kuru, you have Kudus.
And then we have players who are very chaotic, like Van der Veen and things. Yeah, them all the easy degrees. So they cross the border and things that they feel and fight for harm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Less fouls in those areas.
Yeah.
So they will capitalize on that more.
Okay. But what your prediction for?
So
Correct score, right? Sport it.
So I think Chelsea don't give away too many points. But Chelsea are quite chaotic. I'm not looking at a structured game in this game. But when it comes to chaos, I think Chelsea actually are some of the masters.
So what be your prediction?
I didn't talk too much.
Yeah, what be your prediction?
Okay, I'll go for a 2-1.
2-1 for Chelsea.
For Chelsea.
It's living for Chelsea. Charlie, you know already. Me I know talk plenty. As you talk, you take your phone now, then you do one pack. Yeah, you do bab. So yeah, moving away from Chelsea and Spurs, let's look at the Manchester United and Nottingham Forest game. Nottingham Forest have a new manager, Sean Dyche. We've known Sean Dyche for he being very good, very good with his defense, building players physically so that he can defend very well. I mean, he builds the players in such a way that they are workaholics with the ball. We've known him for being a manager that provides a lot with very little resources. He do more. Yeah, we've seen the likes of Burnley and then the other things. Yeah, going into this match, Kwame Amorim, he win 3 consecutive times. How do you feel like? Where Sean Dyche from the last EFL match, he lose. Nottingham Forest, they win, keep. You give up. They play so many games, they win. The last time they win before two, that was they beat Europa, right?
They beat Europa.
Yeah. So for the EPL, they win matches. But I didn't get new manager. In first EPL match with Nottingham Forest, how do you feel like the game will be like?
Okay, so I feel it's going to be a 10 point. It will be 10 points for you. Okay, Forest having been in great form and there's been some changes with regards to managers. Obviously, the Angelo really did perform, but this manager has been able to get a win for them, albeit in the Europa League since 17th August.
They don't win no much. Yeah.
And even for the league inside, though not entirely impressive, they were quite clumsy with how they were possessing the ball. And you are playing against a team that presses with structure, that is Bournemouth. You are not supposed to go score free. And they were playing against Bournemouth at home. Yeah. But looking at this, I think it needs to be a turning point. Yeah, Manchester United have won 3 games in a row, which makes a case for them. Means that one, there's been a shift in their mentality, especially winning at home.
The spirit kind of the comeback. Yeah, the team spirit the comeback.
I think Manchester United haven't been impressive in their away games, with the exception of that win they get against Liverpool. Yeah, you can make a case for that, but I think it will be a turning point. Nottingham Forest with Sean Dyche will try to play compact, because even looking at the previous game against Bournemouth, most of the goals they scored was out of structure, but most of the goals in the center around the zone 14 area. So you have to let Manchester United dominate in that area, which I think is going to be less seen. And they would like to play transitional games to our side.
So what's your final prediction? I know you think Forest will win, but then what's your prediction? They put any wedge you?
Yeah, so 2-1 for me. 2-1. They're not really, Manchester United doesn't really score so many goals away. Like looking at the number of games they play, with the exception of the Liverpool team where they score 2 goals, and they concede a lot when it comes to away. So I think they're going to concede 2 goals in this game and then score 1.
So it's going to be a 2-1. Alright, sure. Yeah, so moving away from Manchester United, we are not moving away from Manchester. let's talk about Manchester City. They are playing against Bournemouth. Bournemouth has been very impressive this season. Second on the league table. Like, we lose only one match. The my players, Clavier, Semenyo, Creepy, Christie, them all like Charlie Guide any force. They get some kind of mentality. See, they don't really care about the team they are playing with, whether they're a big team or a small team. They play with unison. Like, one thing I realized you see, them all they defend together. Like, then they go where then they come. This match against going to Etihad, they will really make it tough for Pep Guardiola. And then from Pep Guardiola in last match, we lose against Aston Villa. Matikash, there's a goal in the game, and then they had their maximum points. How do you feel this game will be like? Is going to be like?
So it's going to be City are going to be harder with regards to, you see, looking at the games where City play early this season and the previous league game, you can see that there are some lapses of concentration with regards to how City defends sometimes people like to go for the highlight, which they didn't work against Tottenham, and they had to play less defenders and having to let Nunes go high up, but tracking back will be a problem for him. And you are playing against a Bournemouth side who are very brilliant when it comes to how they let all their
bringing the ball,
bringing the ball out. So if your wide players are not very solid, then it means that you are going to concede a lot of goals from such areas. So City will have to they have to structure their defensive shape as well. It will also lie on how their defensive shape will be like, their midfield shape will be like.
Okay, sure. So when you look at City, I think Haaland has been injured from their last match. Yes, so he was not able to play the AFL match. So I don't think for this game, so I'm not sure he can make it. Maybe it's doubtful. I'm not really sure. But they have some players coming back from injury. You saw Ryan Cheki scoring against the team they played in the AFL last time. Swansea, yeah. Mahmoud to score. Aitinuri is back from injury. How do you feel like these players feel coming from this injury and playing in the AFL to get some match fitness? How do you feel like they see help in this particular game against Bournemouth?
Okay, so we are looking at the mentality side and the tactical side. For the mentality side, as you covered rightly, winning against a side like Swansea from a comeback, it actually helps them build them mentally. And if the coach assures them of a spot in the lineup against a top side like Bournemouth, then I think they are going to give their all. And these players are actually creative players; they are not system players. You have someone like Mahmoud. Every game they ensure say at least he will play 2 shots per game. You have Ryan Sheki who actually creates something out of nothing, but you are playing under a manager who likes to create chaos in the structure. So definitely you are playing in a system, and they have a lot of more chaotic players as well, with the likes of Doku, who is in top form.
Yeah,
he scored safe in the previous game against us, which helps for his case. But you are playing against a team who are defensively solid, and they have had the most pressures against teams in the Premier League this season. So it's going to be a toughie for them. But with regards to the players, it's going to help them as well with the shift in mentality. On the tactical side too, you realize that most of these players are central players. Then they like to play in central zones where City has conceded most of their goals. Matikash, even against Tottenham, and I think most of the teams, it's going to be, and Bournemouth, it's quite in line with regards to how Bournemouth also score the goals, and if he shoots from long range, they have a brilliant goalie in Donnarumma who could change the game for them.
So what's your final prediction on the game?
So I think, let me touch on Haaland more. I think it is not anything serious. It might be something mild. So they actually didn't have to start in the
PFA. They didn't really need him
to start. You need someone to pin. You need an attacker, actually the best striker in the world, to pin him against your 2 defenders.
You feel like Haaland be the best striker in the world?
Yeah, I feel it.
What about Harry Kane?
I think Harry Kane is totally brilliant, one of my favorite players. But looking at what Haaland does, his ability to create space, I don't care about Harry Kane's playmaking ability. what Haaland is doing is actually also playmaking, being able to create
I think
space.
it's kind of improved so much with his style of playing.
Harry Kane.
No, Haaland.
Oh yeah, he's
From like when you look at the past years or the past seasons, the way he plays is kind of different from now.
Oh,
Though he always wants to score, but then he's added some kind of ball playing ability. Yeah.
Aside that, you look at Haaland helping the team to win the balls and go
For it.
Go for it. So I mean, City have moved from just being a positional team to also being a dynamic team, both in transition and position. And you having Haaland in the game, it's just a game difference. It's just a game changer for such an individualistic player. So I'm going for a win for City, regardless of how brilliant it was.
A win for City.
Yes.
Alright. Let's delve into the last match. And his lot has been very, very bad in his last few matches. Like he did lose back to back to Crystal Palace. He's lost twice already. He lose in the cup match. He lose in the Premier League. We can't lose in the EFL again. Charlie, that'd be very, very bad for him. Like, oh Charlie, I feel sad for him. People they talk see they be the footprint of Klopp way, or he was in the shades of Klopp, but then now he's been able to buy his own players and now he's doing his own thing. And people they feel say that be why he did suffer. He did bad. Going into this match against Aston Villa, who has motivation from their last match, playing against City and winning them. Liverpool is also a big team. How do you feel this match is going to be like?
So I wouldn't expect so much from Liverpool. They would like to tweak their system a little, but I think going forward, they have a game against Madrid, right?
Madrid in the Champions League, yeah. Maybe Tuesday, yeah.
They have nothing to lose if they are playing against Liverpool. I think they would like to get some points, but they have 4 matches, some other 4 matches to focus on.
You mean the Champions League?
The Champions League, if they play against Madrid, so they really have nothing to lose, but they will be focusing more on the league game. Because if you are going to be on the bottom half of the league, it's going to be very bad
from a team or from a defending champion like Liverpool.
Exactly, and you have players who are very individualistic, so they have to adapt. But I think he's going to take a defensive approach because they are playing against a transitional team. The team who likes to transition, he can score goals from every angle, but you wouldn't have to worry much about the defense. Now I'll be so.
But talking about the defensive, Liverpool's defense has not been like the best. Konate and Van Dijk, like everything just they go against them. Like, what do you think is the problem?
So the problem is from the wide areas. You see,
Keke's
Liverpool's defense, brilliant defense, was as a result of how brilliant their midfield was. Because last season they also went for clarity. They didn't go for chaos. They were possessing the ball and being defensively.
Having Beggy staying in the middle.
You had Trent as well. Salah wasn't tracking much, but Trent wasn't also going too much. If Trent they go save, then they invert, become the midfield. He's a hybrid number 10, just like how the City they use Cancelo in Pepsi. So we invert a great danger from there. Now you have your fullbacks playing as wingers, which is trouble. So if you have teams that transition a lot, and they have
going to be defensively, it's going to be a problem for them.
And you have a creative midfielder who is not defensively sharp like that.
You talk about McAllister and Vets, okay?
So it means he leaves a lot of space. If the team is playing narrow, he leaves a lot of space. That has actually been generally the problem. And he's not wrong for going for players who can actually change games. And I like fans to be very futuristic and optimistic.
Futuristic and optimistic. Yeah.
I know they want me to look at this season. Yeah, as I said, trophies are short term. So when you look at the frame of the season, you are expecting them to do better with regards to the players they get. But it's a project for the future. So let's give them time. But the defense, that has been why the defense has been sloppy. The wingers are not defensive. They are not defending well. And Kekes would actually thrive in the Liverpool system if they are playing a 3-back. But who is going to be the auxiliary defender?
That would be another problem. Yeah. Charlie, so what your final prediction for the game?
So I think Liverpool will still have to suffer a loss. I think they are going to expect so much from their attack.
You will give correct
So
score.
much from their attack, but I think Aston Villa is going to win this game with transitions.
You will give correct score.
So
The fans then want 4-1 against Liverpool.
Against Liverpool.
Hey, this one will be hard. Oh. Hey, 4-1. Charlie, Trollers. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host Giovanni, and we'll draw the curtains here.
Yeah.
Charlie, make sure you subscribe, you comment, you like, you share. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Poya, 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 poya.